What are we gonna do tonight, O.C.G?
Well, the same thing we try to do every night, Bertrum. Take over YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Obsessive Compulsive Gaming. I am the Obsessive Compulsive Gamer, joined once again by my faithful manservant / fucktotem Bertrum. Say hello, Bertrum.
Hello, Bertram.
And this is our top love scenes / romantic couples from video games, because today, if you didn't know, is Valentine's Day.
Yes, I did notice that I didn't get a card, I didn't get any flowers, and I didn't notice any ready meals from Marks and Spencer's in the fridge.
Shut up, Bertram. So, before me and Bertram get into a lover's tiff, let's get on with the list, because that's what you're here for, isn't it?
I thought they came to listen to me and you bicker as normal.
Oh no, Bertram. I don't think people like it when we bicker.
Correction, I don't think people like us, full stop.
Well, I can't really argue with you there, Bertram. Anyway, let's get on with the bloody list thing. Oh, and I should have said, spoilers. And please remember, this is my picks for the top couple / love scenes in video games. If you have a problem with what I've chosen, then put your own bloody picks down below. That's what a comment section's for you idiots to criticize me and put your own selections, so make sure you do that. Oh, and this list will be presented in no particular order. I like all these couples and all these love scenes pretty much the same. Final Fantasy X. Not my favorite Final Fantasy game, probably not even in the top 5 or the top 7, but what it does have is a fabulously sweet little love story between Titus and Yuna. And in fact, they have 2 of probably the best scenes in any Final Fantasy game. Those being their underwater love scene, which comes roughly about halfway through the game, and of course the ending, which I'm going to show you in a minute or so I won't spoil what that's about. Though, since I'm showing you the ending, it's spoilers. I don't know why I said it like that. Something's happening with my voice today. I don't know what it is. Maybe too much talking. Actually, I sound like someone. Who do I sound like? That guy from Reservoir Dogs, I think. No, I sound like someone else. Like an alien. Like an alien with a gravelly voice. Yes. Anyway, what was I saying? Completely forgotten. Oh yes, Titus and Yuna. The ending. Oh, get the hankies, dear viewers.
Why? Are they going to be master?
No, Bertram, they're not going to be doing that. They're going to be crying.
Oh.
And yes, before anyone comes at me, I know they have some of the dumbest scenes in the whole game, Titus and Yuna, especially that stupid fake laugh scene. But apart from that, this is a very charming little love story, and in fact is one of the best in video games, according to yours truly.
And who's that?
Well, me, of course.
Oh!
Just cue the bloody ending, Bertram.
Okie dokie.
Now to another controversial opinion of mine. In my opinion, Assassin's Creed Unity is, and still is, pardon me, Assassin's Creed Unity is, and still is, oh my god, it's doing it again. Someone clearly doesn't want me to say this opinion of mine. Damn you, Assassin's Creed fanboys. Anyway, Assassin's Creed Unity is my favorite Assassin's Creed game of all time. And it features my favorite lead character in an Assassin's Creed game, that being Arno. And, coincidentally, it also features my favorite female character in an Assassin's Creed game, that being Elise. And what do you know? Arno and Elise are a couple. Ergo, that means they're my favorite couple in all of the Assassin's Creed games. In fact, they might be the only couple in all the Assassin's Creed games. No, apart from those two in Assassin's Creed Origins. Then they annoy the life out of me, so we're not counting them. So, Arno and Elise, who meet as children, grow up together, but then end up in complete opposite sides. Arno being an assassin and Elise being a Templar. And we get to see all the complications that come with that. Now, all joking aside, seriously, every single one of their scenes in this game is absolutely fantastic. And it culminates in a scene that, well, it had me reaching for the hankies in a non-dirty way. And I'm probably going to show you that scene right now. So, enjoy, dear viewers. And if you haven't already, go and play Assassin's Creed Unity. It's incredibly underrated, and these characters are incredibly underrated.
So, this game is incredibly underrated?
Yes, Bertrum, this game is indeed. Anyway, that's enough of that. Just play the bloody video. Now, while The Last of Us does not feature a love story in the cliché sense, though there are some hints that Joel and Tess might be something of a couple.
Actually, I think they were more friends with benefits.
Shut up, Bertram. We are here to talk about love, not friends with benefits. Though, I imagine being friends with benefits could lead to love at some point. But that's neither here nor there. What was I talking about? Oh yes, The Last of Us. Well, The Last of Us does not feature a love story in the conventional sense. It does feature plenty of a different kind of love. That being the love between a father and his daughter. A daughter and her father. A father and his son. A son and his father. I think you're getting the point. Obviously, the strongest connection in The Last of Us is between Bill and his actually, it's between Joel and Ellie, of course. And there's so many scenes I could point out where we get to see their father-daughter type relationship blossom. But at the risk of making far too many jokes at Joe and Ellie's expense, which I absolutely do not want to do because those of you who know me personally, or 1.5 of you.
1.5?
Yes, Bertram, our neighbor is a paraplegic, is he not? So, half.
Oh, and who's the one?
Well, you obviously, you idiot.
Oh, yeah. Continue.
So yes, for the 1.5 of you who know me personally, will know that The Last of Us is, depending on what day you ask me, my favorite video game of all time. So instead of me ruining that by making jokes and all my usual bullshit, let me just show you one of my favorite scenes between Joe and Ellie, which I think shows their bond remarkably. Enjoy. Bertram, pass me a Malteser, won't you? So, let's face it, Final Fantasy VIII is not only probably not the favorite Final Fantasy game among its fans, though for the longest time it was indeed my favorite Final Fantasy game, but this game is pretty much 80% a love story. Between who, you might be asking? Well, I'm so glad you asked, dear viewer. Between Squall and Renoa, of course. Now we get to see their love story play out from the moment they meet each other at the dance, graduation, ball, thingamajig, all the way up until the heartfelt ending where they share their first... Well, I won't spoil it for you, but that's the scene I'm going to show you at the end of this part, so I could spoil it. But it's probably better if you watch the scene I'm going to show you, then you'll see what I'm talking about. Understand?
No, not really.
Well, tough. There's so many moments between Squall and Renoa. Squall starting off as very stoic, very unemotional, but gradually through the events of Final Fantasy VIII, we start to see their relationship blossom until it becomes completely obvious round about the 3-disc mark, you know, when Squall goes into outer space to save Renoa, and they're sitting on that weird spaceship, and she's sitting on his lap, and the love scene plays, and oh, I'm going to start to cry. Anyway, absolutely fantastic couple, absolutely fantastic love story in video games, and this is probably the best romance in any Final Fantasy game.
Actually, I think I prefer the...
Bertram, this is probably the best love story in any Final Fantasy game.
I can see why you would think that, but... Ow!
So, like Bertrum was just saying, this is indeed the best love story in a Final Fantasy game. Now, I'm going to show you the scene I was talking about before. You know, the scene where they share their first... You know. Ada Wong and Leon S. Kennedy, who met all the way back in the original Resident Evil 2. Who knew that all these years later, in every new installment of the Resident Evil franchise starring Leon and Ada, us fanboys would be begging to see the two of them flirt with each other and see what they've got to say to each other, and of course maybe we'll get to see a kiss or a gratuitous love-making scene.
I don't think anyone's asking for that.
What? Well, I am. Anyway, Leon and Ada are a superbly charming little couple who have that kind of Fox and Mulder will they or won't they energy.
So what do you think, O.C.G? Have they or haven't they?
Oh, I think they have. Probably about 1,277 times at this point. So we got to see the start of their relationship in Resident Evil 2, and it was continued further in Resident Evil 4. Then, in my opinion, it came to its absolute climax. Pardon the use of the word climax here, I'm using it in the non-dirty sense. In Resident Evil 6, which, controversially, is still my favorite in the franchise, and it's here we got to see the most flirtatious scenes, the most little hints that Leon and Ada clearly have very deep feelings for each other. And instead of me telling you all about it, why don't I show you one of my favorite Ada and Leon scenes? Enjoy! Bertrum, put your penis away. Uncharted 4. My favorite video game of all time. Depending on what day you ask me. Whether it's a Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
What's your other favorite game?
Last of Us, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Now, not only is Uncharted 4 one of my favorite video games of all time, but the series itself is absolutely one of my favorite video game series of all time. In fact, a little bit of trivia for you, Uncharted 3 used to be my favorite game of all time.
You don't say.
I do say, Bertram. But anyway, we're not here to talk about the series as a whole. We're here to talk about one of my favorite video game couples of all time, which is, of course, Nathan Drake and Elena, who are together through every single Uncharted game. So they meet in the first one. She's a camera woman, journalist type, there to document Drake's, finds and adventures. Then in Uncharted 2, well, she's not in most of the game because Drake is kind of with Chloe, that sexy Australian, New Zealand one. I could never figure out her accent. You ever notice, Bertram, how a New Zealand accent sounds kind of similar to an Australian accent?
Can't say I ever have.
Well, I have, and it is quite similar. Any Australians and New Zealanders out there, please don't hate me for saying that. I'm just pointing out something that is clearly a fact. It's clearly factual. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. Drake and Elena. So yes, they eventually get together again in Uncharted 2. They have a little bit of a falling out and get together again in Uncharted 3. Then in Uncharted 4, they're married, which is splendid. And that's the scene I'm going to show you right now, dear viewers. The awesome... Oh, wait a minute, it's playing just now. Well, maybe I'll rewind it a bit and show you the whole thing with the sound, put the bells and whistles on it. Enjoy. Enjoy. Why are you not playing the video, Bertram?
Because you said it was already playing.
Yes, I know, but I want you to put it back and play it with sound so that our dear viewers can hear it.
Oh, okie dokie.
Now we come to Cloud and Edith, one of the sweetest couples in video game history. And for those of you that are stupidly going to say, oh, but the love story is actually between Cloud and Tifa, I'm going to tell you that you must have the same disease as Stevie Wonder, because from where I'm sitting and where I'm looking, and my eyesight is not bad, the love story is obviously between Cloud and Edith and has always been. And I won't hear anything telling me otherwise.
But Cloud and Tifa...
No, Bertram, I said I will not hear otherwise. So, Cloud and Edith have not only some of the sweetest scenes in the original Final Fantasy VII, but these scenes are even better in Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I'm sure we'll get to see more of those kind of scenes in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Though having Zack in Rebirth is probably going to complicate matters slightly.
Remind me again, who is Zack?
Oh, yes. So, in the original Final Fantasy VII, Zack was Aerith's first boyfriend. And of course, with what happens to Zack, getting shot full of holes by Shinra troops and, well, dying, Aerith then in rebound phase, or maybe not so, moves on to Cloud, who personally for me is the better choice, because frankly, Cloud looks amazing as a man and dressed up as a woman, and that's the perfect choice of partner, in my opinion, because he can rock both worlds, can't he? He can be masculine when you want, he can be feminine when you want, let's stop talking about that now. So, Cloud and Aerith. Very sweet little couple. Aerith tries to sell Cloud a flower in the slums. Then Cloud falls through a bloody church roof. He even gets to meet Aerith's mother, and so on and so forth. And like these other choices, dear viewers, I'm not going to ramble on and ruin what I think of their little romance. I'm going to show you instead. So, here's a scene of Cloud and Aerith. And don't worry, they both keep their clothes on in this scene, so good times. Roll the video. On you go, Bertrum, roll the video.
Oh, sorry.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, some of my own personal picks for video games' greatest love stories / couples. If you enjoyed this little video of ours, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't enjoyed it, well then feel free to give me a thumbs down. But please remember the single most important thing I always tell you, dear viewer, and that is to always stay obsessed with gaming. Say goodbye, Bertrum.
Goodbye, Bertram. Oh wait, you did buy ready meals from Marks and Spencer's.
Yes, but I didn't buy them for today. You think I'd waste the money on Valentine's Day? Perish the thought.
Bastards.
What was that?
Nothing.
Are you still here? Oh, you must have really enjoyed this video then. In that case, you had better subscribe to the channel and check out our other content. Otherwise, you're a booby pants, and no one wants to be a booby pants.